This week's benefit breakdown, we're looking at the individual plan rate filings for Georgia for the plan year 2025. Last week, we covered the small group rate filings, and this week, I just wanted to cover the individual plan rate filings and then explain why I think it's important to keep track of the individual market and how that's going to impact the small group market. So, just digging into what was posted. Just pulled a screenshot again from healthcare.gov using their rate review section. So this will show you what's been filed. You can see the requested rate changes. You can see the range of rate changes. And then you can also dig down and actually click on the specific products from each insurance company. So it's a lot of info in here. You can actually see like the submission letters and read justifications on why the insurance companies are increasing their premiums. But just taking it as a high level, a few things to note. One, there's a lot more competition in the individual market than there is in the small group market. So there's a lot more insurance companies on this list than if you were to look at the small group market. So that's just kind of meaning it's a healthier, more competitive marketplace. These individual plans are also typically a lot less expensive than most traditional small group plans. That's because a lot of the individual plans have very small or limited networks. Of course, those networks grow each year, but that is a concern that you need to be aware of. So, just kind of taking a high level look at the rate filings, you'll see some of these numbers are kind of all over the board, but I do believe that the individual market has definitely stabilized a lot more than the small group market. And my reason being is even though you do see some increases here above 10%, a lot of those are plans that haven't been on the market for a long time. And those insurance companies are still trying to kind of find their way and find the right price. But when you look at some of the plans that have existed for a longer time period, like an Ambetter or a Care Source, you'll see their range of premium increases and their average requested increase is more kind of in line with what we're seeing the market do. In fact, even if you drill down on Ambetter's rate increases, a majority of the high increases that you're going to see are on their select products, which is even a more narrow network than their traditional plans. So, I kind of use them as the gold standard as far as individual plans for a few reasons. One, they've been in the Georgia market the longest as far as having an ACA plan. They've definitely been the more stable. I mean, traditionally their increases have been 0, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5% year over year. And again, they have the biggest network, I believe, statewide compared to any of the other insurance plans that exist right now on that individual marketplace. So why is this all important for a business plan? I think it's really important because you can see what a healthy competitive marketplace does. You've got double the amount of insurance companies than exist on the small business market. You can see that there's some stability now that these individual plans have existed for close to 10 years, coming up on their 11th year in 2025. And then the last piece, and probably the most important, is there's this thing called an ICRA, which is an individual coverage health reimbursement arrangement. As this individual marketplace becomes more and more competitive and those premiums continue to gap the small business marketplace, ICRAs are going to become more and more popular. The only reason they really haven't taken off is because of the smaller networks that some of these individual plans have. But as those networks grow, we'll see a much larger interest in the marketplace into these solutions. So it's important that you're working with a consultant that's going to talk about really all aspects of small business health insurance. And if they're not bringing up an ICRA, then they're really not educating you in the proper way. I'm not saying that an ICRA would make sense for you right now. I'm just saying that if you are a small business in Georgia, at some point, the small business traditional marketplace is probably going to become really unaffordable. And in that moment or at that time, an ICRA might be a great way for you to give your employees still a quality plan at an affordable price. That's all we wanted to cover today. I hope you learned something new. If you want any more information about how this might impact your specific business, we're always here and happy to talk with you. Thanks and have a great day.